We're exposed to thousands of images every single day. So, as a marketer, how do you make sure your images stand out and, more importantly, send the right message? Part of the problem, it would appear, is people.
What people say in response to questions can be shown to be different to what can be measured at the level below consciousness. Really, it's about gaining insights into how people really feel, about measuring emotions, which ultimately allows us to fine-tune and optimize our creative.
Saddington Baynes is using neuroscience techniques to ensure they create emotionally engaging images, but how does it work?
So this is a neuroscience methodology that's using what they call implicit testing. It's a gamified test that people are playing, essentially, but the way it's set up and the way it's kind of measuring reaction times in milliseconds basically takes it away from the conscious thought and the considered answer.
The process allows creatives to test against even the smallest elements, from light to shade to colour or backgrounds, all to generate a positive response. So what's wrong with current ways of measuring brand perception?
The way that the process works is very much based on the principles of priming. So if you know the game where you're shown the word red in red, you will respond very quickly. If you're shown the word red in green, there will be a slight pause because you don't associate red with the colour green. So it's really based on the deeper the association that you have between an image and a word, the faster the response. The number of respondents that you can test is much higher than a focus group of maybe 10 to 12 people. Here we're testing with 400 people. And those people can be in a particular region, they can be of a particular demographic or age group. You can actually specify the respondent group that you want.
The first big client to adopt a neuroscience approach was Honda.
We brought the testing methodology to Honda because we were designing an environment that was going to house a multitude of animations that show how the technology and the features of the cars work across the range. So the first thing that we had to do in order to understand the direction that we wanted to take from a design point of view was, what does the architectural environment for a Honda world look like? What should it look like? The first thing we did to kind of figure that out was we put together a test methodology of 8 different images, each with the same car in them, same color, same angle. The only thing that changed was the background. The amazing thing that came back from those results was that the design that we all felt was the right one for Honda from a sort of visual language perspective did actually score the highest. But there was another particular background that the agency were keen on that we were potentially going to go in that direction for, which actually scored quite low. The exciting thing about these tests and the amazing results that came back were that some of the backgrounds actually led to negative perception of the Honda brand purely by choice of the background, which is something you wouldn't necessarily expect.
This approach isn't just for big cars. The agency created conceptual imagery for running shoe Asics.
What we found was that even though the images are identical in terms of design, colour played a huge part in emotional response to one of the images, which was the one based on the female shoe rather than the male shoe. But then you also got very interesting readouts about how men perceived the shoe versus how women perceived the shoe. Men saw it as more beautiful, women saw it as more inspiring. So you're able to test against word attributes like that, which you usually see in a creative brief.
So how useful could neuroscience techniques be for visual marketers?
I think what it gives us is an extra axis within our creative work. So one thing we're very clear on is that this isn't about replacing creativity. This is about how we execute creative.
When you consider the amount of money that's spent on media and taking an image and exposing it to all these different media channels, wouldn't it be great to be able to optimize that image with a more certain understanding of how people are reacting to that image before you put it out there?
Still watching? Perfect. Click here to watch another great video from CNBC International. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.